You know what? It's more the space than anything else. It's to me, recording acoustics is not just about putting a mic somewhere or choosing a mic. It's about putting it in a space where the guitar sings. For me, I would record an acoustic guitar very close to a stone wall. Yeah, so I think the most important thing with acoustic is where you are sitting. All rooms, yeah. Big room for reverb, really. Small room for focused. Every session has something, memorable about it. A lot of the time I'll use hardware and print it back into a new track. So, for instance, maybe a bass guitar, I will send to an 1176, get the sound, blend it in with the song, and then print it back from start to finish, back to a new track. Then I can remove the original track and just use the print. And same with like vocal effects, like it's a long process. And then once the vocal is right, then I'll start printing effects. So I'm listening to the song about 12 plus times as I'm printing and finding the effects. Once I've printed all of that back in, then I will balance and use automation. If I've recorded a long reverb, sometimes I might just want it large in a section, loud. So I'll automate it up and then pull it back, and I can do that in Pro Tools. The benefit of printing everything is you don't have to be on the fader and manually writing the mix, which is fun to do, but if you need to recall the mix, you cannot do that again. Not the same. So I print it and do the automation in Pro Tools so that if I do have to open it again, then it's always going to be the same. So once it's printed back in, it will always sum on the mixing console, and then I print the stem, the 2-track off the console once the mix is finished. When I start a mix, the first thing I do is listen to the song and get an understanding of the song. But every time is different. I wish I had a formula that was every time the same. It would be much easier. But no, sometimes I will start on the vocal and get an amazing vocal sound dry, and then move to drums, and then everything else will sprinkle in. Listening level is very quiet. When I feel like I want to turn it up, that's when the mix is right. I can do both. I use both. For something on a vocal, I'll EQ into a compressor. Other times I'll compress then EQ. Both, but hardware. I love classics are classics for a reason, and I love being able to feel, all about feel. So when you get an 1176 and you close your eyes and you turn the input and balance with the output, it feels good. I remember asking this question years and years ago to different mastering engineers, and a lot of them said the same thing. Just send us the mix as best as you can get it. Because sometimes, like, if I do a mix and try to keep within the guidelines of it's got to have, it's got to be minus 18 RMS because that's what the book says and it's perfect. 9 times out of 10, the mastering that comes back I don't like. But other times I'll send something that is a little bit hot and it comes back sounding perfect. So, Big Ass, Lebanon, Instinct, Getsunova, Potato, Slot Machine, of course. Yeah, lots of Thai artists. I love Thai music a lot. Chiang Mai, I love there because I love the mountains. And I love there in December, January, in cool season. Really amazing. My second favorite would be, if I can say it correctly, Kokut. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Thai girls all the way. พูดได้ พูดได้ครับ เบิดภาษาไทยก่อนแบบ Well, number one, never give up, and keep learning. If you don't have a lot of gear, or maybe you just have Pro Tools with the stock plugins, the best thing you can do is learn those plugins. Learn how to make a great recording or a great mix with what you have. Learn how they do. Learn what the compressor does. Use it extra hard. Use it softly, and just remember and learn the gear. And have fun. It's all gotta have fun and be passionate. ขอบคุณครับ